To balance out your Thanksgiving meal, you want to make sure you have a few fast, fresh, and healthy items on your menu. Joining me now is Dr. Ellen Bass, a nutritionist, a pediatrician, and a cookbook author. Nice to have you back here.
Thank you, Teresa. It's great to be here.
So the last couple times you were here, you had your niece with you. How's she doing?
Sophia's doing, she's wonderful. She's out in LA, and she misses being here with us.
Oh, we miss having her.
She says hello.
Yeah, send our regards.
I will.
And today we're making a beautiful pumpkin bread, but you have some secret ingredients.
I do. I can never find pumpkin bread that's not dry.
Okay.
So I said I need to make something that's moist.
Sure.
And in addition to being moist, I wanted it to be healthy and add a few little secret ingredients and superfoods.
Okay, that's important.
So now the first superfood that we have is actually the pumpkin that goes in there.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Pumpkin is loaded with vitamin C and vitamin A in particular. Anything this color is going to be loaded with vitamin A, which is so good for you, and especially for your vision. And so something like a sweet potato,
sure, okay.
Carrots. So pumpkin's a superfood. We should be eating it all year round, not just at Thanksgiving.
Fall, right?
Absolutely. And then our second, another interesting point I had to tell you about pumpkin, which I find fascinating. Pumpkin seeds, pumpkin was originally cultivated in North America. And pumpkin seeds were found and dated back to 7000 BC in Mexico.
Wow.
Which I found really fascinating.
That is, they've been around forever.
And now they're all over, they've been around forever, they're all over the world, they make them now. And then the pomegranate juice is going to be our second superfood and sort of a secret ingredient.
Okay.
And so pomegranates, interesting history on pomegranates, they are originally from Persia, now Iran. And they were, you can find them in references back in mythology, and they were originally representing fertility because of all the seeds that are in there.
Oh, sure, okay.
And this is loaded and packed, both the seeds and the juice, with antioxidants.
Now,
heart healthy.
Do you taste it in the pumpkin bread, or is it more of just a texture thing?
I think it's more of a texture thing, and I think this is what helps with the moistness.
Got it, okay.
And then adds a little health benefit for us.
Very good. We know you like that.
Yes.
All right, well, let's get started.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to have you do, Teresa, is to we've got 1 cup of vegetable oil and 3 cups of sugar, and just add those together and stir them.
Okay.
And while you do that, I'm going to do the wet ingredients.
Sounds good.
What we have for that, we're going to start with 1 can of pumpkin. And this is really, this looks complicated, but it's not. It's so quick to make. And this recipe actually makes 2 loaves.
Oh, even better.
So when you've got all those guests over for Thanksgiving holiday, this is great for breakfast. Warm it up. And you can put some compound butter on there, which
you can explain to me what compound butter is.
Yes, so compound butter is any butter that you take butter and you can add ingredients to. So you can add fresh herbs and put it over fish, or what I'm going to do here today is to make it sweet. So I'm adding sugar and I'm adding some spices, which will complement our bread. So I've got 1 can here of the pumpkin. I'm going to put 1 cup of our fabulous pomegranate juice.
Very good, and that's pretty readily available. I mean,
yes, it is now in all supermarkets now, yes. I've got 3 eggs. I'm going to mix that up a little bit. And then I'm going to add actually some low-fat Greek yogurt as well.
Okay. Now that probably you won't taste, but that'll change the
It will change the texture also, yes. Give it some moistness.
All right. Starting to smell
That
good.
looks beautiful, yes, and all the spices here. And we've got another fun secret ingredient to talk about in a minute. Okay, so we're going to add here, I've got 1/2 cup of yogurt.
Okay.
Low-fat Greek yogurt. And then I've got 1/2 cup of honey, and I did our little secret trick that we've done with you before. I sprayed it first with nonstick cooking spray.
So it comes right out.
So it slides right out very easily.
Brilliant.
So you don't have to fight with it. So that's 1/2 cup, and that's basically our wet ingredients. And I'm just going to mix that for a second, and then I'm going to put the dry ingredients together. What I'm going to do is if you want to add this to this one.
Sure, I can handle that.
And I'm going to do the dry ingredients. I've got 3 cups of flour, and I like to, especially when I'm making something like this, I like to have everything already measured out because then it's so
much
quick.
Easier, right?
Exactly. I've got 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, I have 1 teaspoon of salt, I have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, of course. And then my other secret ingredient here is I've got 1 teaspoon of cardamom.
Oh, that's a
which
unique
is a
smell
fabulous
and flavor.
Yes, it's very earthy and used in a lot of sweets and a lot of dishes. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
In Pakistan and in India. But I've decided to go ahead and add it into a traditional American Thanksgiving pumpkin bread.
Why not?
I also have 1/2 teaspoon of cloves. And I've got half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And basically that is our dry ingredients. You can sift this if you want, but you don't need to because I'm going to use the hand mixer at the end and mix it all together. So now I'm just going to add my dry to your wet. And we'll incorporate that.
Little by little here.
See, this is quick. We're almost done.
This is great.
And then it cooks at 350 degrees for 1 hour. And you've got 2 loaves.
That's great. Can you freeze it? Does it freeze well?
Yes, you can freeze it. It'll stay in the freezer for 3 to 4 months.
Oh, wow. You could have pumpkin bread in the spring.
You could,
Oh,
absolutely.
I was trying to avoid that. Sorry.
Well, I'm adding too fast. I'll slow down.
It's an arm workout. But I guess that's why you have the mixer there, right? Here we go.
I'll just add the rest of this in, and then I'll bring the mixer over.
Okay.
And save you.
All right, so we're just mixing here, and it looks like you have your pans sprayed,
Pans ready. Yes, they're sprayed and ready.
Oh, I smell the cardamom. What is it?
Cardamom?
Cardamom?
Cardamom, yes. Okay. Let's see. We're going to give Teresa a break from getting...
Thanks, my arm.
It's going to be... I'll get flour on me now. We'll trade our flour. Okay. So just mix it, and you want to make sure that whenever you're mixing flour, that you don't, especially with a hand mixer, you don't want to mix for too long because then it can get actually tough.
Oh, okay.
It'll work against you. But I just do it to bring everything together. And then basically from this, I pour right into my 2 baking loaves.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
And you put it in the oven and you're done.
Exactly.
So I have about 1.5 minutes left. Why don't you want to switch over to show me how to make the butter?
Let's do the butter.
Okay.
Absolutely. Let me just bring this over here. And I'm going to bring the butter over.
So you really have endless possibilities with this, right? You can make it sweet, you can make it savory.
Yes, you can. Absolutely. Have fun with it and surprise your guests at Thanksgiving with something different.
You can get a butter or a turkey mold. You ever seen those? Put the butter in the mold? I love that.
Yes, you could.
All right. So
Okay.
just a stick of butter.
I've got a stick of butter, and I'm just going to get it a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to add, I've got a half a cup of powdered sugar here.
Okay.
I'm going to add a little bit at a time, so we hopefully don't get it
Yeah, that was
all
nice.
over us. There we go. Okay, a little more. And then I've got spices here. I have half a teaspoon of cardamom, which is going to play off the cardamom that's in the bread.
Oh, great. And this is going to go really nicely on the pumpkin bread, isn't it?
Yes, it will be
It's
wonderful.
a little sweet.
And here are our spices.
Okay.
And that's how easy it is. And then what I usually will do is to put this back in the fridge, and you can actually make a mold out of it if you want to take some wax paper and roll it, so it actually looks like butter.
I love it.
And it just comes together beautifully.
Very nice. Well, we're just about out of time. We're going to dig in at the end of the show.
Fantastic.
Everything smells very good. Dr. Beth, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll have the recipe over at WTNH.com, of course. And meanwhile, celebrities are wearing these designs for a really great cause, and now you can too. We'll let you know how coming up after the break.